Hello, welcome back to the channel, my new channel. If you don't already follow me over on the Stammering Biker channel, please do give me a look up. Obviously, only if you're interested in bike related content. So I thought for my second video, like I said in my first one, I have plenty of tech. So I'm going to keep these videos a bit more unproduced, shall we say, and a little bit more simple. Less sort of piece to camera type stuff, just nitty gritty, down to the bare bones. So over on my other channel, I have been doing a lot of reviews of Apple CarPlay Android Auto units for bikes, and I am an iPhone user. I'm a bit of an iPhone snob, and I would, kept being asked a lot of questions about Android Auto, and I could only really speculate. So what I did about 3 months ago, maybe a bit more now, was I was looking for a cheap, budget Android phone that would actually work. Like if I actually wanted to pair it to one of these Apple CarPlay units, would it actually work? And my budget was pretty tight. I didn't really want to be spending a lot of money on a sort of flagship, Android phone, because obviously only being used for this purpose. It really wouldn't have made sense. In the end, I settled on this, the Xiaomi, I think that's how you say it, Redmi Note 13. Now this is the 6 gig RAM version with the 128 gig storage. The highlight specs, according to the Amazon ad where I bought it from, Snapdragon 685, 108 megapixel triple camera. I would take that with a pinch of salt. Just because it has 108 megapixels, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's the camera is awesome. A 120 hertz full HD AMOLED screen, 33 watt fast charging, and dust and water protection, which is a little bit vague because there's no mention of an IP rating, but it also has a 5,000 milliamp hour battery. So yeah, those are the highlight specs. It's not 5G. It's not 5G compatible. So for context, I paid the sum of £109 for this on Amazon. I'll stick a link in the description. So obviously we have a USB-A to USB-C charging cable, and a 33 watt, charging brick, which I have to say, it does charge this thing ridiculously fast. We have the box. There's not really anything else in the box apart from the phone itself and this sort of rubberized sort of, I think it's like a TPU case that actually comes in the box. It came with like a thin plastic screen protector on it, but yeah, not really much else to go on there. So it does have an in-screen fingerprint reader, which I would say works reasonably well. I'm not hugely familiar with in-screen fingerprint readers, if I'm honest. The last phone I had with a fingerprint reader was an iPhone, which had obviously the original home button with the fingerprint ring built in, but it works fine. As you can see, it's reasonably snappy. The screen, it's really actually quite bright and vivid, which I guess you would expect with being AMOLED and 120 hertz. This is the stock launcher, so it's pretty snappy. You know, for everyday day use, it's pretty decent. I'm not going to talk too much about the actual, Xiaomi sort of skin. I may get into more detailed, videos like that in the future. But for now, like I say, I'm going to keep these fairly short and sweet. As for the camera, I would say, budget phones, they do tend to show their shortcomings in two ways: the camera and also, software updates. Now, this is running Android 14, but if we just have a look at the camera, I mean, I know it's hard to really tell on the video, but it's all right. It's, sharp enough. It's not going to win any awards, obviously, but it's good enough. If we switch over to video mode now, it does only record in, full HD at 30 frames a second, which I was quite surprised. But yet again, it's all right. It's not too bad. The lighting in here isn't great, but it works fine. Don't need to be hearing my voice on there, but yeah, the autofocus works reasonably well. Not too much to sort of say about that. Overall, I would say the standout features on this are the price, the fast charging brick that you get in it, and obviously the actual fast charging itself. The screen is, like I say, is very sharp, very vivid. It goes reasonably bright, and yeah, good viewing angles. Like I say, for me, the things that sort of let it down are the cameras. Performance generally, like I say, as you can see, is pretty snappy. Where I notice it being a little bit laggy is when you're trying to, if you're on the Google Play Store and there's a load of updates, it does tend to lag a little bit then, which is fine. I just, leave it there, leave it sitting there. And using it for Android Auto, it does work absolutely fine for Android Auto. No issues there at all. But I'd probably notice the most lag there. It works. You just have to be patient when you press. Sometimes there is a little bit of a lag there. Those are the only real downsides. The battery's pretty good. It does have some pretty aggressive, battery saving options turned on, but that could be more to do with pure Android rather than this actual Xiaomi optimizations. Who would I recommend this for? I would probably say, could I drive this as my daily phone? If I lost my iPhone, it got broken, would I be happy putting my SIM card in this and using it? For 90% of what I use, yes. Where I would struggle would be the odd lag and getting a little bit frustrated with that. The lack of wireless charging, which I forgot to mention, and the camera. I take a lot of pictures and videos. So I think, if you're not a massive photo taker, you don't really care about the latest and greatest specs, or if you're buying this for somebody, older who just needs a decent phone that they can rely on, then for the money, I have to say it's pretty good value. Anyway, I'm going to end it there. Like I say, I want to keep these videos fairly short and sweet. I may delve into more sort of details later on if the channel sort of takes off. But for now, thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next video.